All right, family, I'm back. I'm glad you guys are here. Yes, so somebody said, wow, waiting. I'm glad you did wait. I'm sorry about that. I cannot control certain things that happen here on this channel. But I'm still gonna tell y'all the truth on what y'all need to know. So let's go ahead and give the family some time to come back into the chat room. Go ahead and share the video, like the video, comment on the video. Yes, she is back, Lainey. Thank you so much for coming on. As you guys know, the ones who have been with me for a while, you know I'm gonna come back 2 or 3 times. And then after that, my ass ain't coming back because I already get the message and I understand when YouTube wants me on and when they don't want me on. That's why I appreciate you guys so much who do join the channel for the membership, who donate into the channel, who donate into my Cash App, my Venmo account, my PayPal account, because YouTube and Facebook, they don't really like my channels. I guess if I was kumbaya and I was really loving everybody, they'll be fine in it, but it isn't because of the donations why I keep coming back, but the donations help me to realize that you guys really do appreciate what I do and you're not here just to be entertained. Because if you really think about it, you go to my channels, ain't nothing entertaining about my goddamn channels. I may have a personality, I might make some people laugh, but it's nothing entertaining about my goddamn channels. So the fact that you guys are still here with me for years, you guys started me with Boyce Watkins, I was on Fly Nubian Queen. You guys, I've done other people's channels. You guys have been with me through everything. And that's why I keep coming back, because YouTube and Facebook has not been nice to me. And I don't know why. I back everything up with research. I speak facts. I don't know why they're not nice to me, but they really are not nice to me. And I'm realizing the only channel that is okay with me is Instagram. And maybe because I'm just talking about relationships and you guys are getting the goofy side of me, my family, you guys see my family on there. You see me, what I do in my house with my kids. And I'm just allowing myself to show on Instagram. And maybe because none of that shit is really radical, Instagram doesn't bother me. They don't interrupt my pages. They don't bother me. But if I come on YouTube or I come on Facebook, the motherfucker shut me down like no other all the time. So I'm glad that you guys are back. And I'm glad that you guys have been here with me for a long time and your patience still stays there. So go ahead and share the video and let's finish the conversation. I know Nick had asked a question, and Nick, I see that she's on. Nick has asked a question about what's the difference between relief bill and a recovery bill. And as I was saying to Nick, the recovery bill is taking strategic steps to make sure that we adjust the system, adjust the economy to be able to go complementary. And I'm not talking about compliment like you look nice, which is COMPLIMENTARY. I'm not talking about that word. I'm talking about compliment, which is COMPLEMENT. Look up that word so you guys can know the difference. One goes hand in hand, and one is like admiration, like an acknowledgement. Your dress is nice versus he is the yin to my yang, right? It's two different type of things. So what I'm saying to you guys is what Ted Cruz is saying in terms of the recovery bill. He's saying that to spend more money, which is the relief bill. So the relief bill says we need to relieve the people. We need to give them some form of relief. And how we're going to do that is we're going to give them additional monies. If you have a business, we're going to give you PPP, which God knows at work well for my business. We're going to give you PPP. If you have, if you worked and you filed taxes, we're going to give you a $1,200 stimulus. If you are on unemployment, we're going to give you an additional $600 on top of your base pay, whatever that might be for you. We're going to give you an additional $600. If you are a renter, we're going to delay evictions from the moratorium that says you cannot evict this person if they don't pay rent due to COVID. Or if you are a landowner, we're going to relieve you some months of having to pay your mortgage today. So even though you're going to still have to pay your mortgage, we're going to put it to the back end of things, right? So the relief says we're going to offer you some type of financial relief in order for you to get your life in order. right? To get your whole entire goddamn life. Whereas the recovery says, giving you money to get your life in order may not be the best step. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to lower the taxes so that you'll be enticed to stimulate the economy by spending money, because now you don't have to worry about the additional burden of taxes. That's just an example, right? So Nick says, so a recovery bill would be used for a longer term structure. In essence, yes. In essence, yes. And the reason why I say in essence is because you got to watch anything these politicians say. They're going to say whatever they need to say in order to get your votes. So everything always comes off as though it's good, but we got to read the fine print. We got to read the fine print. You have to understand this, Nick, and everybody else who wanted to know the same thing that Nick answered, because she's not the only one that needed to know this. Everything looks good and sounds good when we first get it in black and white. But you have to ask yourself critical questions. Who is going to pay for this? Who is going to suffer as a result of this? Where is this money going to come from? How do we make up with this money? We may in the short term get a little bit of relief, but what's going to happen down the line? What is going to happen? Yes, PA. PA is something, there's always something in the fine print. There's always something in the fine print. And we have to know what the fine print is. Wilson is saying, how about both? Lower taxes and give checks. Soul Man is saying, who is the money going to? Okay. So in terms of the person, Wilson, who says, how about both? Lower taxes and get checks. I'm not the one that makes that decision solely on my own. That would be a voting decision. That would be a conversation that needs to be brought to the floor so they can toy around with it in the House of Representatives, Congress, Senate, whatever. They need to toy around with it on the floor in order for them to determine if that's viable or not, right? But one person alone can't make that viable. It has to be a collective. Hello, Dr. Shonna in chat. What's up, stand up, be counted to be counted? What's up to you? So another thing I want you to know is I also read a comment from Freddie Mac. So some of you guys may know who Freddie Mac is and who may not know who Freddie Mac is. And this is important. So all of you guys who are homeowners, who have purchased your home on 3.5% or 5% Freddie Mac or FHA type of programs in order for you to get your home, what that company, the company who gave you your loan at a lower down payment, what they're saying is, without the extra $600 a month payments that had came to people on unemployment, delinquencies on mortgages would have been 40 to 72% higher than the current levels. So I want you guys to notice, if you think about what I said in my previous video, when I said, listen, it may sound cruel, but I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm trying to present to you guys Fannie Mae. But there is a Freddie Mac too, right? If I'm not mistaken. It's Fannie Mae. And maybe there isn't a Freddie Mac. Who knows? But I thought there was a Freddie Mac too, if I'm not mistaken. But you have the Fannie Mae, you have the Freddie Mac. But the point is, you have government-backed loans. That's what I'm saying. They're basically saying, if it had not been for the additional $600 a month, yes, there is. Thank you here for truth. I know I wasn't going crazy. I know there is a Freddie Mac as well. Thank you so much. I thought it was. Sally Mae Ramsey has to do with the college loans. We're not talking about the college loans. We're talking about the FHA. And we're talking about the government-backed mortgage programs. What that company said is, if the $600 a month monthly payment was not made available, they would have had higher delinquencies. And as anyone that owns a house or who had ever owned a house who's going through a short sale or a foreclosure, what we know is that when you get to a certain amount of months on delinquencies, it will force your property into foreclosure. I know I'm sounding like a geek right now. I'm trying not to be geeky, but this is important for our conversation. If your mortgage payment is delinquent, after about, I don't know how many months it is now, but after about 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, it could be more, I don't know, it will force your mortgage payments into foreclosure. And if the mortgage payments go into foreclosure, what that means is the banks now assume full ownership of your house. Not only do you have to get the hell on out, but they assume full ownership of your house. And your bank does not want to own your house. Despite what people believe, the bank does not want to own your house. So when that happens, when they have to assume the mortgage at full, they're going to put it back on the market, or which is what's the name of that's called? Oh my God, I have not dealt with this in years. But REOs. REOs. You guys got to tell me the name. I know it's a lot of real estate agents, and y'all should know who are your real estate agents in this community, because that's what we do in this community. The REOs is, I forgot what that stands for. If I'm not mistaken, it's REOs. But nonetheless, Dwayne says 90 to 120 days. Good. Nonetheless, if the bank assumes the mortgage, they try to get it back on the market. Yes, real estate owned. Thank you. They try to get it back on the market so that they can sell it at a rate where they don't lose and the person who's buying it doesn't lose. It's like a win-win. However, when it does not go back on the market at full rate, what it goes back on the market as, depending on who the owner is as a short sell. And a short sales means I'm trying to sell this house, and I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not licensed in any way, shape, or form. It's just through experience, because I am and I have been a homeowner. So it's through experience. And I have gone through a short sale. So basically what it's saying with the short sale is if your house at the market rate is valued at $400,000, but you can no longer make the payments because of foreclosure. Foreclosure is about to come up on your ass like a thief in the night. You say to the bank, I need to get out of this mortgage. I cannot do this anymore. I cannot afford to pay you anymore. And usually people like that, they stop making their mortgage payments. When they stop making their mortgage payments, after a certain amount of time, 90 to 120 days, then it goes into, it doesn't fully go into foreclosure, but they start the foreclosure procedure. And they say, and you say to the banks, I'm willing to put this house on the market for $320,000 as opposed to $400,000. And that would be a short sale because maybe you own $390,000 on a mortgage. So the bank has to decide, do we want to have this house on the market for $320,000 when $390,000 is due to us? Are we willing to take that $70,000 loss? And once the bank says that they're willing to take that loss, then you get a buyer at $320,000 in a market that would typically go for $400,000 or $390,000. So the bank is actually losing money. And although it hits your credit negatively as a short sell, the bank doesn't lose out on all of the money that you owe them. All right? So Dwayne and other people, how am I doing with that? Right? How am I doing with that? So Nick is saying, and I don't know who Nick is talking to. Nick says under the HEROES Act, homeowners can get 180 plus 180 days forbearance. And then Nick is saying it's actually the CARES Act until the national emergency is over. Okay, Dwayne is saying perfect. Thank you. So Nick, yes, it's actually the CARES Act right now, but they have the HEALS Act, and I need you to look that up. HEAL, HEAL. They have the HEALS Act on the floor, sort of like a replacement to the CARES Act, because one party is saying the CARES Act is all about relief and we need recovery. It's a whole bunch of gibberish, in my opinion. It's a whole bunch of bullshit to confuse a lot of people, in my opinion. But let's go on. You got to understand why you have the HEALS Act on the floor versus the HEROES Act on the floor versus the CARES Act on the floor. It's all, somebody said, who cares? I'm glad you deleted that motherfucker. Thank you. But nonetheless, you got to understand, I don't care what you name the act. It's all a political scam, in my opinion. And what it is doing is, here's the strategy that's being played with the American people, in my opinion. The Democrats feel if we create a whole bunch of impoverished people who are suffering, who are losing their houses, who cannot eat, who cannot buy their bare essentials. This is just my opinion. I know there's a lot of Democrats in this room, and I know a lot of you think because y'all see a black face on this channel, I'm automatically Democrat. You guys are asses if you really believe that. And I know you guys think because I'm a clinician and I'm a doctor and I may have access to other privileges that some people don't. You're an asshole too for believing that I'm a Republican. Even though I probably never changed my political party. Now that I think about it, my political party might say Republican. Being that I live in a Republican state and I needed not to be harassed with these assholes. Maybe not Republican state, but y'all know at the time I was in a Republican town when I first came to this town. And I played the same game that they play, but I'm an independent. I vote however I want to fucking vote. If I vote, I vote. If I don't, I don't. Y'all not going to bully me into voting. I don't care about that stuff. I care about my local elections. And unfortunately, it's only about 2.2% of us in this town that look like me. And we're not really benefited from the shit no how. So I'd rather start a lot of fights and a lot of wars to get us on the map. And I love to go to the meetings and start shit just to start shit like a Karen. You know what I mean when I say like a Karen? I'm the black Karen at meetings. I start shit just to start shit. Because y'all gonna notice me and my children on the goddamn map. But nonetheless, that's a whole nother story. Thank you for that donation, CM Training. He said, he or she says, keep up the good work, Doc. I am an independent. I am an independent. I vote however I want to fucking vote. Period. That's how I vote. A lot of y'all get caught up in these parties. I say, fuck all the parties. I can care less about them. If you speak in my language and you have a plan for my people, then you got my vote. And if not, you got a problem. And I'm going to create a problem, even if I'm the one nuisance at your meetings. I'll be the heckler. I will be the heckler. And they know me because of that. And they're probably in this chat too, because their asses can't stand me. But nonetheless, I'll be your heckler. I don't give a fuck. However, I want you to understand that this is all a gimmick. It's all a game. So Trump is saying that he suggests delayed voting, right? And his reasoning is if we delay voting, we'll make sure the country is safe. The closer we'll get to a vaccine, the closer we'll get to opening the economy, and the better chances of him getting reelected. That's what the going message is. Y'all can go ahead and listen to his speech, listen to his message. Don't take my word for it. Whereas the Democrats say that if the country, and but so many words, and this is me paraphrasing, but if the country remains demoralized, they will most likely win the election and we'll get Biden. So what am I saying when I say that? In one party, they're saying we have to give out money to stimulate the economy so people can spend. As long as they are spending, the economy keeps going, and then we can entice businesses to open. And as long as I the president of the United States of America, as long as I bring the economy back, I'm more likely to win my vote again. So he's going to push the ideal of opening the economy. He's going to want the stores to open. He's going to want the schools to open. He's going to want the hospitals to fully be staffed and don't worry about people with COVID. He's going to want people like me in private practices, whether you are in private practice as a medical doctor, private practice as a mind, psychological doctor, private practice as a chiropractor. It doesn't matter. He's going to want you all to start to open up your businesses again. He's going to want massage parlors to open. He's going to want nail salons to open. He's going to want restaurants to open. He's going to want movie theaters to open, because these are all the things that the American people utilize on a daily basis. And as long as we move people back to the concept or the mindset of stimulating the economy by opening and bringing in that money, then of course, he's going to get the votes, because he saved the world from collapsing. So he's gonna be favorable of giving out money, because whether you're getting the $1,200 or you're getting the $600 in your unemployment check, is designed to make sure we keep the economy flowing. Whether you're going to Walmart and buying your essentials, or the supermarket and buying your foods, are you paying your rent bill? Are you paying your gas and electric bill? Are you paying your cell phone bill? Are you paying your gas and light bill? It doesn't matter. The idea is to get the money in the economy going again, right? That's just my point. Let me see what somebody's saying. Damon7 is saying it's impossible to delay election. It would create a bigger crisis. Well, what I learned, Damon, and I see why you're saying that, Damon, but what I learned is in this day and age, nothing is freaking impossible. So a lot of us at the very beginning of this conversation, I know Sid and I, we had this conversation, Sid Smith, which is one of the moderators and one of the community members. We had this conversation at the very beginning. And Sid, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Sid said way before this became a conversation in national news, because Sid is somebody who's all into politics. That's all he does is eat, breathe, and sleep on politics. And sometimes I'll be like, Sid, I'm about to kill your goddamn ass because I don't want to hear about this shit today. But Sid is all about politics. Sid said a long time ago that he foresees that this is a strategy to delay the voting. Right? Sid said that a long time ago. And now it's in national discussion. Sid said, laugh out loud. But Sid knows. I listen to everything that Sid says. Sid and I can stay on the phone forever. Sid can stay on the phone forever. But I don't know if Sid, see, he says, yeah. I don't know if Sid recognizes my personality. Despite the fact I can come on here and talk to you guys, I'm an introvert. I don't like a lot of energy. People be like, well, how are you a psychotherapist and you do that for a living? Yes, I only see people 2 days a week because I don't like a lot of energy, because I'm an empath. And that means I take on the emotions of other people. And some of y'all be coming to me with some real shit that be breaking me down. And I can't be on the phone with people all goddamn day. I can't be in session. I mean, if my session goes over, I'll be like, good Lord, what am I going to do? This person's in crisis. I have no choice but to stay with them through the crisis. But God damn it, they're pulling on my last 5% of energy. I cannot do this no more. I'm being honest with y'all. I'm being real motherfucking honest. I am an empath. I cannot take too many people pulling on my energy. That's why I only see people 2 days a week. I shut that shit down and I go to sleep and I burn some sage. You hear my house? I got kids in here. Y'all don't hear them, right? Trained very well. Trained very well. We stay to our goddamn selves and we depend on each other. That's how we are. My house is very balanced. Yeah, y'all want me to get up and go get that sage? I burn that motherfucking sage. My house is very balanced. I can't take all that bullshit. I cannot take all that bullshit. Right? But going back to the conversation I had. Thank you so much, family. So I think that it's a political game that's being played. One person says, give out money to stimulate the economy. And the other person says, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing this. So what does that mean for us? Now that I give you guys all of that bullshit, let's get into the universal basic income. And then I'm going to be out of here. Woo! Universal basic income. Shit. I got to pause on this one. So let me tell you what happened in Newark, New Jersey. So y'all know I'm from the, well, y'all know I live in New Jersey. I'm from the Bronx, but I live in New Jersey. And many of the people in Jersey who know me know that I'm a community activist in certain areas of New Jersey where there's highly populated by our people. And one of the areas where I volunteer a lot of my time. What's up, Alex Little? Thank you so much. She said your transparency and professional competency is refreshing, beloved. Thank you. Oh, I know how to do. I know my skill set. I mean, I know I got a potty mouth. I got a nasty mouth. But that's why I think the people that work with me appreciate me, because I'm down to earth. And I know how to break them down with gentleness. And I know how to break them down with love and concern, because too many of us wear masks. And, as Black folk, we got to always switch on and switch off. But I'm recognizing, I'm going to say this, I'm recognizing that I have been attracting a lot of Asians and East Asian people, i.e. Indians. My client load is becoming like heavy with Asians and East Asian people. I didn't know that they stalk me on social media. I didn't know, being honest with you guys, that the stuff that I talk about, they think about, and that it impacts them too. I didn't know, because my people, the African diaspora, is what my interest in. But they have also said to me that they want to be able to take off their mask, and they love the way I can unveil people's masks with gentleness. Because a lot of motherfuckers out here wearing masks. Y'all gotta be okay with being vulnerable. Y'all gotta be okay with telling your truth. Like, what do y'all guys? I'm not afraid to tell my truth. I'm not afraid to tell my truth. Y'all know I've been married and divorced, and hell, I welcome the next goddamn divorce. I'm just being honest. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but I'm being honest. But it doesn't mean that I don't love and respect the institution of marriage, because I do. I absolutely do. But one thing I cannot do is be married to a narcissist. I cannot. I cannot be married to a narcissist. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, y'all know I'm the truth. I tell y'all the truth. I'm just telling y'all the goddamn truth, right? And even though I'm a therapist and clinically I help people through their issues, it don't mean that I don't have my own issues too. It doesn't mean that I don't have my own fears as well. I just know how to work my ass through it. And if I don't, I call my own goddamn therapist. Therapy is great. I love therapy. So yes, I thank you so much for that, Alex Little. And I thank you for that donation. I love you for that. But let's talk about the universal basic income. Now, a lot of people that I deal with from an organization, and I'm not going to name the organization, those who personally know me or who have been following my videos, y'all know I named this organization before. I love the organization. It is in Newark, New Jersey. It's a Black-owned organization. We do go out and we do the best we can do. We make sure we bring Kwanzaa to the community. We make sure we bring viable conversations to the community. We have female, like young adult female mentoring groups. We have young adult male mentoring groups. I have hosted a couple of trainings on relationships in this community. People who know me for that reason. And we are a small family. We're all very different. Some people are blackity black, 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 and what I mean when I say the blackity black, 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 the kind of people that y'all be like, okay, y'all, I understand you love being black. I love being black too, but y'all got some outdated motherfucking information. Y'all need to bring that up to core and up to par, because that train of thought is killing our community, but you can't tell no people, no nothing. So, I love my organization. We have the older ones, we have the younger ones. And I love that. I love the older population versus the younger ones, because we don't all agree with each other. And I'm sort of like in the middle, but I tend to think that I'm 20 or maybe even 30. I tend to think that I'm younger, at least younger than some of the people in the organization. But nonetheless, one of the older brothers who I respect dearly, like a father figure, we knock heads somewhat, but he's like a father figure. And he said to me, well, Dr. Shonna, what you think about the universal basic income? And I said to him at that time, well, I don't know enough about it. I got to go do some research to tell you what I think about it. Well, I think it's a great idea. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Everything that sounds good ain't good. So I need to do some research. Allow me an opportunity to do my own research, and then I'll come back to you with the answers. So I've done my research, and I'm going to share that with you. Universal basic income. So in a nutshell, before I give you the foundation, basically what some people in America are saying is that they believe that the government here in America should provide the American people with a basic income no matter what. Whether you are wealthy or poor, everybody should have a basic income, whatever that number is. One study is saying $1,000 a month. I saw another study say $500 a month, but in that study that said $500 a month, they had requirements on it. Whereas the one that said $1,000 a month said it should go to everybody, regardless of their income level. So basically, what they're saying, somebody said you look 20. I look 20. Don't tell me that. Let me go tell my daughter, who's turning 22 in 2 weeks, that I look 20. Good Lord. Oh, she in competition now. She may keep up. Okay, I'm not a cougar. But nonetheless, the belief is that we should be providing the American people with a universal basic income no matter what, to help level out the economy. Patrice Garner is saying same way they're doing in Germany, Australia, UK, Canada, etc. Yes, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that, Patrice. So yes, that's what the universal basic income is. Yes, David Val is saying yes, UBI is an old idea. It's a very old idea. Yes. So now that you guys know what it is, and I see, this is why I love this community. And I know for some people who are new here, you don't understand how we can ebb and flow through our conversation, because we're not here to listen to the teacher. No, we're here to engage in conversation. That's why I love this community, because this community is very critical in their thoughts. Sarah is saying in Sweden. Yes, in Sweden as well. So PA is saying American can't afford that, right? We're going to talk about that, PA. So absolutely. Let's go back to what it is. So in 1795, let me tell you guys how the universal basic income came about, to my understanding. And maybe you guys may know something that I do not know, but to my research and my understanding, in 1795, the English village of Speehamland, you know these names, I can care less about these names. In 1795, this thing first came about, and it was rooted in the Elizabeth Poor laws. Now, I know half of y'all mofos, and y'all know what my mama used to say. I know I always introduce you guys to my mama. Y'all can't really see her on the wall back there, but my mom is an ancestor now. I do talk to my mom. I communicate to her all the time. But I always love to have her spirit live with me and with you guys. And y'all know what I always say. My mama said, you can't, they don't make movies like that for nothing. That's the number one popular things that she says. And the other popular things that she says is, if you want to hide something from Black folks, you got to put it in a book. Right? Ronald, yes, I am on Facebook. Just go to @drshonna. You'll find me on Facebook. So the Elizabeth Poor Law, if you remember back to school when some of your ass was hanging out, smoking weed, drinking your OE, your special brew, y'all wasn't paying attention to history classes because your asses were more interested in getting the man or getting the women, or, you know, getting that weed on in the back of the schoolyard, whatever y'all was doing. Let's not act like we were all innocent here. Y'all may have forgot about that part of history. But in the Elizabeth Poor Laws, that was a time where that history was centered on three different things. And the focus was indigenous adults, so poor adults. And the focus was on those who could work, number one. Two, those who could not work. And three, those who are considered the idle poor. Those are the ones who do not want to work. That's where the Elizabeth Poor Laws came about. And what they said was, we have these three different types of people: those who could work versus those who could not work versus those who just did not want to work. And so when we think about the entitlements that was given out to certain population, it was creating a lot of tension among the different political figures in our society, right? And some were saying that we should not be supporting these poor people, right? Because it will cause a prosperity drain. And what the prosperity drain is instead of you working to better your life, and we know this doesn't apply to all people because we understand the wealth gap and we understand how our people are suffering financially in this society. So we know this shit don't apply to Black people, but I'm just giving you guys the history. The prosperity drain was, if we give these people money, like welfare, entitlements, if we give these people money, they're not going to want to prosper. They're not going to want to work to better themselves. In fact, they're going to drain our economy because we're going to be spending a lot of money to take care of them. Right? Then you have another school of thought that says, if we take care of the poor, those who can work, those who cannot work, and those who are the idle poor who choose not to work, if we take care of them, then that's going to lead to an increase in our population. Because the people who are of childbearing ages and stages in their life, many of them are not having more children because they cannot afford to do so. Now, remember, we're back at 1795, 1800. We're back centuries of years ago. So they're not taking care of these children. Whereas in certain countries where this universal basic income was allowed, what they was able to see is that by giving these people money, some of these people increased in the number of children that they were having. So the population went up. So the fear was, if we give these people extra money, they're going to be making babies. So Political Lil says we got those systems right now. Right? Yeah, we do. We're about to get into that. We're about to get into that political. We're about to get into that. But you guys have to understand where a lot of these narratives that we hear today, where it stems from. Because when the whole welfare system, welfare meaning a handout or help up, whatever you want to call it, the whole welfare system did not start under the Reagan laws, the war on poverty. It did not start there. It started with the founding of this country, number one. So basically what they're saying is, if we give out money, we're going to have a prosperity drain. We're going to have an increase in our population because more people that weren't having babies because of financial reasons before will start having babies now because we're taking care of them. The other thing was, if we give out this money, this additional money, then it's going to allow businesses to keep wages low. Because why would they have to have competitive wages when everyone is getting this universal basic income? Everybody's getting added income. So I'm not going to add on to the wage because they're already getting money. You work for what I get. So what is created is a permanent underclass, a permanent poor class, a permanent working class. Don't we already have that, ladies and gentlemen? Do we not already have those populations of people? Let's keep going. Another argument is that this universal basic income under the Elizabeth Poor Law has also created industrial capitalism. And what it's basically saying is we're making the lower class or the working class irrelevant. We see that today. So let me break that down for you guys. So here I'm hearing Mr. Davis is saying absolutely. Claudia Smith is saying exactly. I'm glad you guys are with me. Let me break that down for you right now when it says that we're going to make the working class or the working poor irrelevant. It basically says you guys who are in the working class, who are in the working poor class, you're really not going to matter to everybody else, right? You're going to have to do the jobs that those of us who are educated, who has skills, certification, trainings, licenses that we don't have to worry about doing. And the more people, industrial capitalism that was then, but now we see a different form of it, the more people or the more businesses that are creating these jobs where it requires unskilled workers, they don't have to pay you a lot of money. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of us, we get mad at big employers for not paying livable wages. Okay, you're not going to like me right now. You're not going to like me. What's up, Janelle Moore? I'm so glad you're here. Jamil Moore. Let me know, Jamil, what level are you at? That's one of our community members. They get a fat special shout out. Jamil, let me know what level you are at, because I'm going to be doing some live trainings, and I want to see if you're at community supporter or a higher level, because I'm going to let you know of a training I'm about to do this upcoming week. But nonetheless, a lot of you are not going to like me for this right now, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, whether you like me or not. So right now, what we see is a lot of working poor. And there are a lot of activists who advocate for the working poor. They advocate that they get more money, they get more hours, they get better benefits, etc., etc., etc. But if we're honest for just a moment, no shade, no shade. If we're honest for just a moment, some of the working poor want to remain working poor. Come on, I know y'all don't like to hear it, but we gotta stop. We gotta stop the bullshit. We gotta have honest conversation. I'm gonna allow people their rights to privacy, and I'm not gonna put anybody on blast, whether they are family, friends, or associates. A lot of you motherfuckers, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. A lot of you motherfuckers don't want extra money because you don't want to cut your Social Security benefits. You don't want to cut your Section 8s. You don't want to cut your Medicaid. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. A lot of you guys have accepted the working poor category. And many of you guys, too many of them for my liking, that's why I say many, y'all want us to shut the fuck up when we start to complain about wages, when we start to complain about the lack of hours for some of these workers that work at these big corporations, whether they're Amazon, whether it's Target, whether it's Walmart, whatever the case is. When we start to stand up and complain, a lot of you motherfuckers, y'all already know, let's not get in our bag, let's not get in our feelings. A lot of y'all get upset. See, I'm not lying. I know some of the people. I know some of the people that are like, oh, Dr. Shonna said that, especially my people from the university that I'm a continuing education instructor for. I know y'all watch me and y'all like, she doesn't present like that in person. No, motherfucker. No, I don't. This is my channel. This is my channel. And none of y'all saw my check. So I'm going to say what I have to say, because I know a lot of my people, and I know a lot of poor people, whether they are melanin or not. I know how we operate. Let's just be honest. I told y'all I grew up on welfare, and I seen, not for nothing, y'all know I love my mama, dear Lord, I love my mama, but I seen a lot of games that she played. I see a lot of games that she played with the system. My mother was a slick motherfucker. Let me tell you something. She knew how to get every goddamn bill paid, whether she was bringing in money or not. She knew how to stop playing. Stop playing. There go Dwayne says, real recognize real. I'm just trying to be real. I ain't trying to shade nobody. I grew up on the system. Right? Somebody said I can give you stories. I grew up on the system, so I know how it works. So when we really think about it, about these universal laws and how it works, we got to understand that there are legitimate concerns here about giving out free money. Now, I know somebody says she is right. I'm telling y'all. I'm just telling y'all the truth. So when I talk about the organization that I belong in Newark, New Jersey, and we go back and forth with these debates, somebody said to me, well, I don't know, Dr. Shonna, I think it can work. I think it cannot work. I'm just being honest with you. Because not everybody has the mindset of building wealth. Let's just be honest. Yes, Ronna. Ronna said you have to be super slick when you're on welfare. Yes, and Mia saying, Miss Fitz saying my mother was the same way. Listen, I'm just saying, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. So when you come to me with this kind of discussion saying, yeah, Dr. Shonna, you got to sign the petition, and trust and believe there's a petition out there right now. Y'all can go ahead and Google it if you don't believe me, on Universal Basic Income. There is a petition out right now that's asking people to sign it, saying that our people, the melanin people, are behind financially. I know we are behind financially, but you got to understand that this universal basic income isn't just for Black folks, and it isn't just for those of us of African descent who are American, who have come up through American chattel slavery. It's not just for us, it's for everybody. So no, you're not getting my vote. I'm just being honest with you. You're not getting my vote on no universal basic income. You're just not going to do it. Unless you coming up with real solid fucking reparations for my people, you're not getting my vote. Because it's not going to fix anything. And let me tell you something. I'm just being honest. I mean, I know I'm going to lose some people tonight, but that's okay. I don't give a flying F-U-C-K. I really don't. I know I'm going to lose some people tonight, but let me say this something. I have been in conversation with several people who are hit hard by the pandemic. And what I have realized is that I'm trying to help people see opportunities. Not only help you see opportunities, but I'm forwarding opportunities to people. I'm going somewhere with this, how it relates to universal basic income. So just follow me. I'm forwarding to people opportunities that they can take advantage of right now in order to get themselves out of their rut, where they're complaining that their unemployment money is not coming in a timely fashion, when their unemployment money is not delivering what it is said to deliver, and when they're becoming a little bit cautious about what is about to happen when the $600 stimulus money is all out. I'm giving people real information to bring them up out of their hole. And you know what I get from these people? I'm being honest with you guys. I get from these people that they're not even interested in what I'm sharing them, because they have become so fixated on the idea of getting unemployment, even when they haven't gotten a check in months. Can we just be honest for a moment? I swear to you guys, I know people who have said to me, can you help me find employment? And I've been helping these people find employment. I kid you not. That's not part of my job. I am a private practice clinician. It's not part of my job. If I'm being honest with you guys, people either pay me out of pocket or pay me through their health insurance. So the people that I decide to extend services to, I'm doing real grassroots social work for them. I've had people send me their resumes that I have redone their resumes to help them get jobs. I have people send me their resumes that on my off time, on my downtime, I apply to jobs for these people. I have people who ask me, do I have any connects? And when I throw connects by their way, they have fucking ruined opportunities to get COVID money. And when I say COVID money, I'm talking about we need people hired right now. We'll give them $50 an hour. But because these people are waiting on their unemployment and their stimulus money through unemployment, they're not even taking the jobs. Somebody says that's ridiculous. I'm telling you the truth. And if I'm lying, may my deceased mother not rest in peace. Word to bond to the soul of my mother. And I try not to lose my patience. Arlene is saying, I know people like that. I try not to lose my patience. But they much rather wait for money that has not come to them yet. Because in their head, they're looking at what's due to them because they haven't gotten it yet. And what I mean by that, they're saying stuff like, yo, by the time I do get this back payment, I'm going to have X amount of $1,000 in my account. You fucking crazy as hell. If you would have followed through with the shit I was telling you, you won't be calling all these different companies asking them to relieve you of not making your bills. Right? Jay York is saying, I'm not shocked at all. Elena's saying, it's deep, but facts. Claudia is saying, I have family like this. I'm not making this stuff up. Right? Kelly's saying, but your lights are off. But they don't care, Kelly. They don't care that their lights are off. You know what, Kelly? The truth is their lights aren't off because everyone is delaying it. So what they think in their mind is because it's being delayed. But motherfucker, by the time it's delayed 4 or 5 months, you're going to owe $2,000. Like, was that worth it? You running air conditioning like you got money in your account. You letting water run like your ass is working. You eating up all types of shit in your refrigerator like you got money coming in. You traveling all around the motherfucking state like you got gas money. And tire money when your shit go bald. Gas money when you got to maintain your car. I don't understand that dumb shit. But you ain't hearing that from me because I'm not the one to gossip. Y'all remember that? From Living Color? But you ain't hearing from me because I'm not the one to gossip. You ain't hearing from me. Meanwhile, they be like, why you ain't coming out? Because I ain't got no money. Get the fuck out of here. You got money. Why you acting like I ain't got no money? I ain't going out. I'm staying in my house. Oh, you know the rooftop is open. We can go to the rooftop and have a couple of drinks. I ain't got no money. I got a bar around my motherfucking house. I ain't got no money. I can't go. Are you serious? We gonna go get our nails done. I ain't got no money. I do my own goddamn nails. I ain't got no money. Ain't got no money. Ain't got no money. But they ain't got my kind of mindset. You know why? Because they got free motherfucking money coming in. I don't care if y'all get mad at me. I don't care. Somebody said Miss Bonita, right? You ain't got to hear from me. I ain't the one to gossip. I'm just trying to say, listen, right? Jamil is saying our people live for the moment. It's not just our people, Jamil, because we ain't going to start the anti-black rhetoric. Yes, our people are included, but it's a lot of motherfuckers that are getting their unemployment money and they don't want to do shit but stay home and get fat. And then they get mad at you when you look at them like, my nigga, you buying that? Do you not see what that price went up to? That's a price gouge. Do you not see them crab legs are $18.99 a pound when a week ago them bitches was $9.99 a pound? What are you doing? But these motherfuckers putting that shit in their cart like they got money to go around. I ain't got that kind of money. Mom, can we have shrimp? You got money? Y'all eating vegetables tonight, motherfuckers. Y'all eating spinach, broccoli, string beans, and asparagus. That's a whole motherfucking meal. Oh, you still hungry? Cut some potatoes up and toast that shit. Eat some vegetables. You'll be all right. You ain't no shrimps and crabs up in this house. Part do you not understand? My clients can lose their jobs tomorrow and lose their health insurance, and I won't have no money. We ain't playing no games in this house. Right? Right? That's right, Alex. A whole meal. A whole meal. That is a whole meal. If y'all only saw my dinner tonight, y'all think I'm playing. We roasted. I'll go get that goddamn thing on my. We roasted some broccoli. We got some snow peas, some cauliflower, some carrots, some asparagus, some green zucchini, some yellow squash. Play no motherfucking games. Oh, that wasn't enough. We can cube some potatoes and roast them bitches too. Here's a whole goddamn meal. Clean your inside out. Detox. You be all right. You be all right. Right? But my children don't complain. They don't complain. But you know who complain? Can we just be honest for a second? Let's just be honest for a second. You know who complain? Ignorant motherfuckers who don't got a job, who's dependent on unemployment, who want to laugh at the way I cook because they're like, you bugging out. Your kids, I mean, damn, you got to buy them some type of shit. Buy them motherfuckers some juice. They don't need no juice. We got water. We got a water dispenser in that corner, right? We got a water dispenser. You lucky I ain't telling you put water in your cereal. We got almond milk. We got Trader Joe's $2.99 cereals. Eat that bitch. Yes, you can. Right? No, ain't no Kool-Aid in my house, PJ. Or PA. There ain't no Kool-Aid in my house. You can drink some motherfucking water. If you want something a little bit sweet, you could take the raw cane sugar that looks like brown rocks and add some lemons. Cut them bitches up and squeeze them. We got the lemon squeezer and make your ass some lemonade. That's about it. But we're not getting all the extra shit. It ain't happening. Because prices are inflating and we got to be smart. So we're not doing none of that. And my kids don't complain. People always say to me, well, how you get your kids like that? It's called conditioning from the time they were babies. Let's not play. Here's a green pepper. Have a fucking green pepper. When everybody else is eating a banana, here's a green pepper. That's your fruit. Eat. Now my daughter can't stand them bitches. She'd be like, please don't put green pepper in my fruit. Here's a green pepper. Everybody else had apple slices. Here's some green peppers in the bag. Eat that bitch right there. Have a good day. I'm just trying to tell you. So let's go over to 1969. I know I'm over time. But just so y'all can know, during the Elizabeth Poor class, I mean the Elizabeth Poor laws, the working class was made irrelevant. And the reason why they was made irrelevant because everybody was capitalizing off of their human capital, meaning their ability to work. And they really wasn't thinking about elevating. They just wanted you to give them money. They wasn't worrying about making extra money. They wasn't worried about licensure and certification. They weren't worried about education. They just wanted enough to survive, but not lose their benefits, not lose their entitlements. And we see a lot of that in our communities today. A lot of people in our community, they do not want to lose their Social Security. They do not want to lose their Section 8. They do not want to lose their welfare. Listen, I'm saying anybody in that community. I'm not saying just Black people. We're not going to have anti-Black rhetoric on this in this community. I'm saying there are a lot of people who don't want to work past a certain amount of hours because their benefits are going to be cut. Let's just be honest. But in 1834, that law was ended. So then you have Richard Nixon in 1969. Let's talk about Richard Nixon. Somebody said food stamps. I'm telling you. What did I say? What did I call it, Nefertiti? Did I not call it food stamps? I don't know what I called it. But do they got a new name? I know when I was growing up, when I was growing up, it was gangsta food stamps. That's how I call it. Now y'all got some fancy shit where it disguises the fact that you got food stamps. That don't build real character, in my opinion. I don't regret how I grew up. I don't regret the embarrassment stage where you had to rip out the book, the brown dollar, the purple $5, or the green $10. Right? That shit will humble you. It humbled me. I know I used to be so mad at my mama. I used to be like, well, god damn. She sent me to the Chinese food store where everybody on the block, including the cute guys that I like, are in the motherfucking store, and you want me to pay for the Chinese food store out of this book? of color money? Fuck out of here. I used to go in the store, order my food, and if somebody was in the store when I was in the store that I knew, I would walk out the store, I would go off the block, go to the park, I would do 101 things until they were out the store. And then I'll come in the store and pay real quick so nobody can see I had the funny money. That's what we used to call it, funny money. Somebody said, it's EBT. That's what they call it now. Now I just know I seen somebody had a chip in their fucking card and it was their welfare money. And I didn't want to ask no questions, but I swear to you guys, they had a chip in their card and it looked like a goddamn debit card, but it really wasn't. I'm not lying to you guys. And I was like, well, holy shit, what is that? And then when I got wind that it was their food stamp card, I mean, I guess they don't say food stamp anymore. Somebody told me SNAP. Somebody said EBT, whatever it's called. I'm not trying to be funny. But when I saw their food stamp card and I saw the things that was on their belt, I wanted to take some of the stuff out of my car and ask them, can they pay for that? Excuse me, beloved. Do you mind getting these organic motherfucking strawberries for me, please? I said, they having a whole goddamn ball. Family first card. That's what somebody said. Family first. I don't know if it's family second or family first, but what I do know is just because I see how some people, not all people, and I don't want to come off as an elitist because there are a lot of people who do need the benefits. And I would never take it away from them. So let's just be honest. I would never take it away from them. And that's why I don't vote against those kind of entitlements, right? Because even though it's easy for somebody to criticize those kind of things and vote against it, I don't vote against those kind of entitlements because there are legitimate people that need it. And I know if you have a little bit of bad people, it punishes the whole. And I'm not one of those people that want to punish the whole. I cannot imagine take it away from people who cannot work because they cannot work, not because they don't want to work. But how do you control a system that is unbalanced and there are no security blankets in place to ensure that they're not being taken advantage of? So when I think about universal basic income, I don't believe that this is a system, in my opinion, that can be monitored correctly. I don't think that this is a system, in my opinion, that can be used for the upliftment of people to get them out of poverty. I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm not in support of it. I'm just being honest. Turquoise Sky says, thank you so much for your inspiration and work you do for our community. You will be receiving gifts I made for you this coming week. Oh, I appreciate that. I hope it's a t-shirt. I like t-shirts. Thank you so much. William Money says, I used to love food stamps as a kid. We used to be hungry. Listen, baby, I have no problem with food stamps as a kid. What I had a problem with food stamps cramping my style as a teenager. Scorpio Girl says, I wonder why they change food stamps. That's a good question. I guess economically, I don't know. It must cost a lot of money to print them goddamn books. I don't know. Right? 87 Kozar is saying, my job is gone. They was giving me $800 a week. Hector Energy says, why do you have to monitor people? Cut the checks. The money spent goes back to the economy. Okay, so that's a great conversation right there, Hector Energy. So Hector Energy said, first of all, I'm not monitoring anybody, but I'm assuming Hector Energy is saying you in general, right? Meaning the country. First of all, Hector Energy, we got to utilize our critical thinking. And one school of thought, as it comes to universal basic income, what they're saying is that money should go to everybody regardless of income. So we already know in this society, there is a wealth gap as it pertains to those of us of African descent versus those of us who are non-melanated, right? There is a significant wealth gap. And if everybody across the board, regardless of their need, gets the money, how does that help to close the wealth gap? That's the first question I'm going to ask you, Hectic Energy. Well, that's the first question I'm asking you. How does that close the wealth gap? Number one. Number two, I don't know what race you are, Hectic Energy. So I can't really direct it toward you individually, but I'm going to talk about my community of the African diaspora. If we already know that many of us have not all of us, but if many of us have not been given the tools that are necessary, because it's not like you go into the school system and they teach you how to duplicate your money. The school system doesn't teach you about that. So it's not that you can go into the school system, Hectic Energy, and learn how to duplicate your money. We have been conditioned as a people to be consumers. So the minute we get money in, we think about how we could spend the money, and that sends the money out of our household. So you give people all this extra money, they're not creating wealth. They're not getting themselves out of the situation. Only thing they're going to do is spend it on corporations, especially big corporations that just get greedier and greedier, bigger and bigger, and it doesn't really help the community. So yes, I understand what you're talking about, but I don't see how that logic really works. I think it's narrow-minded, in my opinion. So Hector Energy is saying we're in a deflationary environment. Inflation isn't concerned. How do you say, well, okay, I'm going to open up my mind to learn from you, Hector Energy. The question I have for you is, how do you say inflation is not a concern? Inflation is happening right now. I don't know where you live at, Hector Energy, but where I live at, I literally just went shopping. And I swear to you, something that used to cost, let's just say $20, cost me $44. Because it's really about supply and demand. So I don't know why you say it's not of a concern. Maybe in that area, I'm totally ignorant. I don't understand it. But other than the gas prices, and we know how that market is controlled, the food prices aren't coming down, and neither are people's rent prices. People are trying not to lose their houses, but landlords are capitalizing off of rent. Even the state of affairs that we are in, rent prices are not coming down. So I'm not really understanding what you're talking about, Hector Energy, when you talk about inflation. Yes, PA saying risk too damn high. I agree with you. I'm not understanding what you're talking about. And Ronald's saying we have price gouging because they're not making any money. Yes. So I know of somebody who just went into the nail salon, and she told me the prices were up by $5 to $10. And the excuses that she was told by the owners is because they lost money. So now, because they lost money, whether they got PPP or not, or PPE, whatever the hell they call it, I think it's PPP. Regardless of whether or not they got PPP funding from the government, they raised prices because of the amount of time they were put out of work. So how is it that people do not have an income coming in, but prices are still being elevated? So for you, Hector Energy, to tell me that inflation is not an issue, let me know what part of the country you live in so I can consider moving there. Because inflation is an issue. Exactly, Quentin Quincy. He said farmers workers are getting sick in California, so less workers the higher the cost. Absolutely. Somebody saying their rent went up. T Mon is saying my rent went up 150. Impress Netta saying rent went up $30. Yes, that's right, William. William Money saying raise the prices and never lower them. We understand what this is becoming. So for you to come on here and say that, I'm confused. Hector Energy responded. He says housing is up. Yes, that one market, largely because people moving to metros supply. Hector Energy, are you a troll? I You're only focusing on housing. Hector Energy, food is up as well. I have not been at my business location since COVID happened. I visit my business location once every month. Today I went Hectic Energy and I opened up my gas bill. I only have to pay for electric. Rent is included. My electric bill was $100 and I'm not there. You cannot tell me inflation is not happening. So I'm making a conscious decision to close that fucking office because I'm not there. Why am I going to give PSE&G $100 and I'm not using anything? I'm not using my computer. I'm not using the AC. I'm not using the lights. Why is my bill $100? $100. There are no clocks running. There is no computers running. What are you talking about? Thank you for that donation, William Money. Thank you for that. Yes, Lee G. Food is high as fuck. Yes. Yes. Somebody said tax charging as well. Yes. Yes, 87 Cozart. They still charge $100. And I am not there. I got the bills on my table to call them because I'm not understanding this operation. So Ronald is saying, I thought inflation occurs when you have too many dollars chasing few goods, but maybe the inflation is being caused by extended unemployment of $600 and all these government stimulus acts. Why not both? And so, yes, you're right. Think about it. Factories were closed. I don't know if you guys, for example, have gone into Walmart, Target, or any stores of the like to get a bicycle. I know for my youngest child, my oldest children all have bikes. The baby was on one of those trainers. You know, the trainers that has no pedals. I mean, a lot of people I tell them, they're like, I didn't know something like that exists. I forgot what it's called, but I know some of y'all some bougie motherfuckers, so y'all be able to tell me about that trainer. But it's a bike that has no pedals. And you get on it and you just use your feet to go. So teach the children how to balance the bike. So I went to get him up from that level to a bike with training wheels. And can I tell you that there were no bikes on the shelf whatsoever? No matter what city I went to or what county I went to, there was no bikes on the shelf whatsoever. Yeah, it's a balance bike, Cassandra, but it has a name. And no, it's not scooters, Patrice. It has a name. If you say the name, I'm going to know what it is. I bought this bike a few years ago. It was $200 or $250, something like that. And he was like 3 years old or 4 years old. I bought it. And it teaches them how to balance their bike. You see all the little Asian and white kids in my community. I said, oh, what the fuck is that? So I got it to see what it is, to give my son a hands up. No, not a Schwinn. Not a Schwinn, but they have it, and it teaches them how to balance the bike. So what I'm saying to you is when I finally went to go get him a bike, there you go, Hector Energy. The bikes were wiped out. There was no bikes. Not because, see, he's saying everyone's trying to keep it with their kids busy, I guess. No, that's not the reason, Hector Energy. I spoke to several of the companies. And yes, Strider. Thank you for my bougie population. Woo-hoo! The Striders. That's the name of the bike. How much does it cost now here for truth? How much is a Strider now? I bought this bike a long time ago. Thank you for that donation, Jamil. I bought this bike a long time ago, the Striders, and it has no pedal. You just use your feet, and then they up their legs, and it teaches them how to just go. It balances the bike, so it transitions easier. But when I called the biking companies, they said their factories were closed down due to COVID. So they did not have workers to keep up with. Is $90 now? Well, here for Truth is saying it's about $300. Maybe they got a bootleg one for $90. But I'm telling you, I paid like $250 for this bike. I paid like $250, and I'm willing to give it away for free. He didn't even like the bike. I don't give a fuck. I'll just give it to somebody. I'm not gonna throw it out, but I'll give it to somebody. But nonetheless, as I was saying, when I called these manufacturing companies, they apologized for my inconvenience. They said there was nothing they could do. Their factory was not open. They could not supply the demand. So because they couldn't supply the demand, what many of these stores were doing is a cheap ass bike from Walmart that was, let's say, $50, $60, $70 is now $140. Supply and demand, because everybody wants it, and they know if they jacked up those prices, people were going to buy it. That is inflation. Hector Energy says, I'm not a troll. I just have a different view. Thanks for engaging in good faith. Absolutely. I'm not mad at you, but I just want you to somebody's saying it's $89.99 at Kohl's. That's great. I'm glad the prices went down. I've had that bike now. My son is 6, so I had that bike for 3 years, almost 4 years. So yeah, those little things, whoever came up with that thing was genius. But I didn't even hesitate to spend the money. I just spent the money, and I got it for him, and he didn't even like it. And now I got him a regular bike, and guess what? He don't like that shit either. So now I'm gonna be a mean mommy, and I'm gonna take the training wheels off. If you fall, you fall. You're gonna learn today, whether you like it or not. I'm so mean, but who cares? Nonetheless, Quentin Quincy says bikes are less popular to kids now thanks to cell phones. Take the cell phones from them. Listen, I don't blame nothing for what we choose to allow our children to do. If I only give you guys the cameras, as you can see up on my wall unit set, I took my son's iPad because since you want to be on an iPad all day, you want to break my shit that belongs to me, and you want to think you're entitled and privileged in this home just because we got it. You think you can use it? No, I don't think so. You have no iPad anymore, so I took it. It's just as simple as that. So I don't believe that, I won't say thanks to iPhones and cell phones and iPads. I think that parents still have their control. That's right, William. William said, I never had the luxury of training wheels. Neither did I. I got bruises on my legs right now. I didn't have the luxury. So I'm about to take it back to the old school because I'm an old fool. Yes, you're going to get on that bike just like in a pool. You don't want to send your kids to me. You're going to be like, Dr. Shonna is mean. Yes, the bitch is. I will throw your kids in the pool and watch them swim. Swim. You'll be okay. And then I'm drowning. Stand up. It's okay. You're all right. You ready? Boop. Go back in the water. You're going to learn how to swim today. That's how I learned how to swim. So if the boat go down, I'm swimming for a good minute because I can swim. I know a lot of Black people just can't swim. I can. So let me go back to this. I'm out of here. Ronald said, I'm glad you buy your kids nice things. Ronald, don't. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, Ronald, but I say this to you, Ronald. Don't make any assumptions because my kids have all types of things. People who know me personally, and I think I said to you this to you guys a number of times. There's 2 things I don't play with. That might be my bags and my car. I spend the money on bags and cars. But don't fuck around. I'll wear some Target clothes and call it a day. I will wear some Walmart spandex and call it a day with my Nike 270s and still be looking hot shit. You better believe. You can say whatever you want to say. But I'll still be looking hot shit in my $4.44 Walmart stretchies. I ain't beat. and neither are my kids. Neither are my kids. So somebody said when your kids pick your nursing home, no baby, use a lie. It's called real estate. I won't be going to a nursing home. You talking about when my kids pick my home attendant, then we talking. My grandmother is 95 years old. God bless her heart. She still lives on her own in the same project she delivered me in. Right. And I already told you guys that. Y'all to follow me on Facebook. Y'all know I shared that story with y'all. So nursing home is not me. Sorry, it's not tradition in my family. So I don't even worry about that. Maybe in your family, your black ass is going to a nursing home, but not in my family. None of our asses are in nursing home. We don't want to take care of you, but tradition is tradition and culture is culture. So we gotta respect the elders, and they will be living with us, right? So anyway, I don't want to talk anymore. Thank you for that donation, Cal Galiente. Cal is saying y'all better buy gold and silver. Hyperinflation. What happened? Hyperinflation is coming. Hyperinflation is here. Yes, Alex, little period poo. You know how that goes. Somebody said maybe in that back room. I'll be in that back room. I'll be running shit from the back room. I'll be an old ass woman from the back room running shit, talking to my grandkids and my great grands. Fuck around with me if you want to. But no, baby, I'm going to tie up all their monies in trust funds. You ain't getting shit unless you take care of me. Woo! Somebody said you better get that long-term care insurance. You better get all that insurance you can go. Alfred says, I wait. Sarah says, I won't go to a nursing home. Shoot, you better not. Somebody said this kingdom is finished. Thank you so much, PA. I enjoyed tonight's talk. I was going to talk to you guys about Richard Nixon and his radical new poverty and how all this stuff goes in today. But at the end of the day, I think y'all get the point. I ain't got to talk about this stuff. I think y'all get the point. Just so y'all can know, one thing I do want y'all to know about this universal basic income is that these pilots have been running in Finland. Y'all can go ahead and look that up. Finland is a country it's been running in. Canada, the Netherlands, Scotland, Iran, and in the United States, it's been a pilot program in Oakland, California, where they have been given $500 a month to a specific area in Oakland, California, to see how they're dealing with the with having a universal basic income. So the researcher, she has not exposed the area in California for privacy purposes, but she claims is that it's been working in Oakland, a part of Oakland, California, but everybody else says that it wouldn't. So I don't know. But I do gotta go. I got shit to do. Somebody said Bitcoin. Listen, I'm even gonna have that conversation tonight. Somebody says everyone's taking care of their countries but America. Listen. William Money says if you see my stock, you'll know I'm about to cash out. I can't eat gold before. Y'all are hilarious. He said, I can't eat gold, but food is a necessity. Listen. If they're giving out those universal basic income, I'm gonna take that basic income, but I don't think it's a good idea. I honestly don't think it's a good idea. Cal Caliente says UBI will make us all slaves. Doesn't matter how much money you get if you can't buy anything. Somebody said you sound just like my sister from Brooklyn. Listen, Brooklyn, New York, the Bronx, we all the same. I don't want the UBI, but if you're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it. And I'm going to turn that money into some gold. Anyway, I love you, family. I didn't even finish tonight. Y'all had me laughing. I love engaging with y'all. I know some people don't even engage with their audience, but I like engaging with this community because y'all are like critical thinkers. And even though Caliente, not Caliente, The one that was causing my locks to turn gray. I forgot his name already. Hectic energy. That's why you see, you gotta be careful with these kind of things we name ourselves and name our children, right? Hectic energy. Just hectic energy. That sounds very chaotic to me. Who wants to be around some hectic energy? Gotta watch what you name yourself, baby. You gotta change. Make that all love, pure love. Say something different. Hectic energy. That just sounds so goddamn like negative. But I do love you. I got nothing for love, nothing but love for you. But good night, brothers and sisters. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you so much for the engagement. Thank you so much for joining the channel and for all my business owners and my relationship people who are in there, as well as my social media influencer members. I'm going to bring you guys all a video next week. For the relationship people, we're talking about the 3 C's as it relates to relationships, which is the foundation, right? We're talking about compatibility, communication, and I ain't going to tell you the 3rd C, but I'll see you guys all this week. Have a blessed one.